What's happening, guys? My name is Griz, and today I'm here to talk about scopes in Battlefield 4, particularly the medium range variety. What exactly changed with them after the patch, and I'll sort of give you my opinion, I guess, on how you should go forward with using them. First of all, I do want to throw out there as a precaution that the medium range scopes are normally not my bag. What I mean by that is they're not my favorite, and I don't tend to use them a whole lot, especially with the 2 or 3 weapons that you're going to see me use in this video, the Scar and the AUG, the AUG. I just call it the AUG. I don't know if that's right. So please understand that, I'm just offering up my opinion on using the medium range scopes, and by no means am I an expert on them. But I was asked to do this video, on the changes to the medium range scopes that in the fall patch. And where I've been a CTE player for a while, I've had some experience with the part of the patch referred to as visual recoil, and I've been playing with it for some time now. They implemented this quite a while back over on the community test servers before they actually went live with it, which took forever, and I'm not sure why they didn't just roll it out right away, because it instantly made a huge impact on the overall playability and enjoyment level of Battlefield 4. So rest assured, at the very least, I've been playing with it for a while now, and I've been using the scopes with the changes that were part of the patch, for a good amount of time. So the term visual recoil is kind of like a descriptive term that was given to this fundamental problem with really the core, or the heart and soul, you could say, mechanic of the game, the gunplay. It was a huge deal before the patch. Now, you might not have noticed it, a lot of you probably did, but you might not have noticed it just as easily, especially if you're new to the series and BF4 is the first game you've played in the franchise. Then yeah, definitely, you might not have noticed it because you probably would have accepted that it was always like this before, but it was definitely not. Basically, it all boils down to this. For some reason, there was a, quote, random effect to what you were seeing on screen when you shot at someone, and this random effect was being generated by the math behind the recoil pattern, generated by the weapon you're using. Like, at least that's my understanding of it. I know that sounded confusing, but what was happening was the maths, we'll call them, that calculate the weapon's recoil pattern were somehow interacting with your field of view. It's all very sophisticated programming stuff, and frankly way beyond me, but as far as what you saw on screen, your view when you were firing at someone would shake along with the weapon, making it obviously a lot tougher to stay on target. I know, super boring, right? Sorry I had to go through that with you, but I just wanted everyone to know the logic behind it. Whether or not you understand it fully is kind of irrelevant though, because I'm going to explain it a little more in layman's terms, or in other words, explain what you will actually see and feel as a result of these changes. So what do we know about the changes? 2 things in the patch notes that are particularly important when it comes to this are these right here. Visual recoil. Close range sights except iron sights, IRNV, and the FLIR, and all medium range sights have been changed to no longer be affected by animation, aka visual recoil. The removed random effect has nothing to do with real weapon recoil and doesn't affect it. Very well said, DICE. There's another note in there, added UI options for tweaking the ADS aiming sensitivity, and this stuff can affect your views and sensitivities, but I don't think I'm going to go through that in this video. As far as what you're going to see, here we are on the test range. I'm going to use the Scar, the AUG, a couple other weapons that have a little bit higher recoil and some medium range scopes. So what you want to focus on, and it's subtle for sure, but what you want to focus on is the center reticle when I'm firing, but at the same time try to watch, like in your peripheral vision, the scope itself, like the scope surrounding it. With the close range optics, it's actually quite noticeable how the reticle stays centered at all times, but that's what's happening. The reticle is staying centered and the scope is shaking around it. You could definitely see it on the LMG. I'm not sure which LMG that was. I think it was, oh gosh, I don't even know, but it was a high recoil one. Anyways, Yeah, like with the close range optics like this, it's a lot more noticeable how the reticle stays centered at all times, and the rest of the weapon and sight sort of just bounce around it. I am extremely grateful that they decided to make the reticle stay pretty much dead center of your screen, because it just makes it so much easier to judge where your bullets are actually going. And yeah, you can definitely tell that the sight around the center reticle is sort of reacting to the recoil a bit more than the center dot itself. And that is, in essence, the big change here. You no longer get an added random effect that makes your screen shake like crazy. I'm sure you can all remember how many times you lost a gunfight and said something along the lines of like, how did I not kill that guy? My red dot was on him the whole time. Well, that was probably a result of that whole coding or mathematical mishap or whatever it was. Anyway, on to the good news. I definitely think the medium range scopes benefit a lot from having that effect removed. They're much more controllable now, much easier to work with. The person who asked me to make this video, expressing my opinions on it, I'm sorry, I forget your name, dude, but he asked me to use the AUG A3 or the SCAR. So I did get to play with both of these assault rifles, switching between the 3.4 times and the 4 times optics. I think out of all of them, I like the M145 optic the best out of the 3.4s, and the JGM4 I liked a lot for the 4 times scopes, Scoptics, yeah. The PKA and the ACOG would be my second choices, although this is really just a personal preference thing. Those are just the ones that I liked. When it comes to running the medium range optics with the SCAR and the AUG A3, one thing I don't think a lot of people consider, and if you're a sharp cookie, you'll probably have already noticed me putting this tip I'm about to give you to good use, and that is using the single fire mode on these weapons. Think about it for a second. When you run a medium range optic on an AR, you want to be effective at distance, right? Well, this idea sort of came to me as I was playing with the SCAR and the 4 times optic. The SCAR's got some kick to it, so it can be difficult to use this weapon at range and firing, like using the automatic fire. If you're not running, let's say, the suggested attachments, and using it all in a way that will complement a playstyle that pulls everything together, you might run into some problems. What I mean is, you're not going to want to equip the ACOG and the angled grip on the AUG and then rush in everywhere hip firing like a boss all willy-nilly. I mean, you could. Just let me know how that works out for you, because I'd love to know. And for the same reasons, you wouldn't want to equip a vertical grip with the ACOG, because it's not going to help you out at all at range. And I don't need to tell you guys the answer to this. At least I at least hope not. So, but here's the thing though. I was using the SCAR with the AUG and the angled grip at the time, hanging back, reviving my teammates, picking a few people off, afar from here and there. And it occurred to me to try the single fire mode, because the SCAR does up to 33 damage and 24 is the minimum. So add on that 2 times multiplier and that you get for the headshots, and boom, you got yourself an assault class loadout with something you can use like a DMR basically, but you also have the option of going full auto for when you need to get in there and get your hands dirty. Suffice to say, the single fire, it worked out quite handily in a few situations. Gotta go for those headshots though. It works well with the AUG too, but I found the SCAR actually got more kills with. They both have different advantages to using the single fire. The SCAR's advantage is obviously the higher damage, but the AUG has the highest muzzle velocity of all the ARs, so with the AUG it's easier to score hits at distance, but with the SCAR definitely has more killing power. Just something I wanted to mention to you guys, maybe you never thought of trying before. A lot of people forget that the different fire modes are even there, aside from the fact that they're there for a reason, and they certainly have their uses. But that is the situation in a nutshell. I know I kind of went off a little bit at the beginning there and just recently on technical stuff and this and that. I hope I got the point across though about what exactly was the problem and what exactly they did in the patch to fix it. And I hope that clears things up a little for anyone who wasn't sure as well. I don't know, did I do a good job of explaining it, guys? Let me know, 'cause I don't know. One more thing I have to share with you guys before I go is I have a list here. This list is all the weapons I like to use the medium range optics on. And these are basically weapons that I think are very suitable for them, I guess. For example, the AK-12 here is like a match made in heaven for a medium range optic, I think. Low recoil, movement that it does have with the scope is easily countered, and it's got that burst option and a single fire mode, which gives you even more control and better accuracy with a scope. I find it feels kind of like an AN-94 from Battlefield 3 when it's on burst mode, like the AK-12 I mean, except of course the AK's burst is a 3-round instead of 2, but still I just find it eerily reminiscent. Anyways guys, that is all I have to say on the matter. Let me know if I missed anything worth mentioning down in the comments below. Helping each other out, that's what we do here on the Griz channel. Also, apologies for no kit up this week. I know, I didn't get one done. I've got one ready for you early next week though, so we're good, right? Alright. If you're new around here, I'd love for you to subscribe and be my guide, buddy, friend, fella. And as always, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope I was able to drop a little knowledge here today. If you did enjoy, don't hesitate to send a like my way, guy. We'll be friends forever. Alright, enough shenanigans. I'll see y'all soon. Later.